Hey guys, DJParson here, and I want to show you guys another game of the World Championship. For those who didn't know, I posted a couple of videos from the last group stage, or from the quarterfinals, where you can see the results here. I didn't show all of the videos, just some, and we didn't have a conclusion. So if you guys were wondering, sadly I did not make it to the next stage. I did not make it to the semifinals. 29 points for MBB Chess and 27 for me. So very, very close. The other guys 8 and 8. So yeah, top heavy group here. Congratulations to MBB Chess. But now we are well underway for group stage, or stage 7, which are the semifinals. So only 12 players left and 3 groups. And I wanted to show you one of the 4-player games from one of the groups, so let's get right in there. And in this group we have havn, Black, Gilgamesh, E55 and Genghis Ship. So remember guys, only 12 players left, so from 500 players, something around that, the 12 best are left at the semifinals. So we are gonna see quite a lot of grade through the ages here. So yeah, havn Black has the first turn. He takes Sun Tzu. We can take a quick look at the leaders and the wonders. We see Kia, we see Railroad Ocean Liner, we don't have Bach, we have Nobel, and Project is here, Gutenberg. Alright, so yeah, havn Black takes Sun Tzu. Then next up is gonna be Gilgamesh. It's gonna take the Roman roads. E55 and a couple more numbers. I'm gonna call him E55, maybe just E. I don't know. I don't know this player, but he made it thus far. And Genghis Ship, of course I know him, goes for Caesar, Colossus and Urban Growth. So 3 cards for our last player here. And with that, starting into H1, havn Black is looking for Wonder. Is he gonna take Hanging Gardens? Yes, he is. He's also going to build a mine, increase pop, usual stuff, nothing too surprising. Gilgamesh still looking for a leader, takes Alexander. He's going to elect him, of course, builds a mine, increases pop. So yeah, there we have it. Nothing too exciting. Boudica for E55, so everybody has leaders, everybody has wonders. And then he's going to take Engineering Genius here as well. And Genghis Ship is going to elect Caesar. He's going to go for Joan of Arc immediately, interesting, and elects her as well. So it doesn't keep Caesar, wants Joan of Arc immediately, pretty interesting. Development of crafts from havn Black. He's going to build a lab, increase pop, takes frugality. I mean, yeah, first row is full of A cards, not the greatest ones, so you don't want those. Gilgamesh now is gonna finish the Roman roads in just one very clean turn. Is gonna keep Alexander for now as well, and then E55 goes with a warrior and even finishes the Library of Alexandria. Very nice. We went for the free warrior, of course, with the extra resources from Boudica. Then the ship sees the first card, is going to see the development of Civil Life. But development cards are always good. Of course, the extra information can be quite useful. It's going to build the extra lab, is going to build the first stage of Colossus, and takes cartography for 2. So with that and the Colossus, he's primed for a colony game. Could be very interesting. havn Black now is going to go for an event and is going to get out the development of markets. So you can take the rocks and finish the Hanging Gardens, as well as taking the drama. He's going to show a tactic here. Could have combined that with Genghis Khan, but decides not to. Shows the tactic, of course. It doesn't get transferred to the other guys before he replaces Sun Tzu. Gilgamesh now is gonna go for the Genghis Khan. Maybe he's hoping to get an upgraded tactic, or he himself has that heavy cavalry. So that is one of the best, or the best tactic with Genghis Khan usually. And then he also took the the alchemy, so extra rocks from the Roman roads, and the alchemy for extra science. So E55, oh, pretty nice. Can go for the mines, can go for the iron, and builds one. He could have upgraded two, but decides, no, I want another population. I think I agree. If you go for iron and just wanted to upgrade 2 bronze, I don't like that too much, so I like the extra iron here. And then next turn, with that rich land, he can upgrade the last 2 mines. Still only sitting on 1 lab, but he has the Library of Alexandria, of course, and now shows the Legion. Get a pact, open borders between Genghis ship and Vanta Black. So more military actions for Genghis ship. He's gonna finish Colossus, grabs irrigation and knights. So yeah, quite a lot of technologies here. Shows the fighting band, doesn't fulfill it yet, is the strongest for now, but we're still sitting on development cards. And we don't get another one out because Vanta is not gonna push. He goes for iron here as well. Can upgrade 1. And then he's gonna increase population. Decides not to go for Isabella now. Doesn't take the engineering genius, just wants to be able to upgrade 2 more mines. He has 4 mines here with extra food and happiness from Hanging Gardens. Gilgamesh now is gonna go for the science upgrade, so 2 labs gives him 4 science. He's still sitting on 4 rock production as well. He doesn't have a leader anymore. He had Alex, which he used, but he's still not fulfilling. He doesn't have the units to go for Genghis Khan, so he wouldn't be doing anything really. E55 is gonna go with the plan. He's gonna upgrade 2 more mines, go for the swordsman, go for Grand Circuses. Alright, so yeah, pretty easy turn, not too many civil actions, and you spend your rocks on upgrading. Not too many hard choices, and then Genghis ship gets out another development, planning. Well, and you don't, with Jonas, you don't see which ones you're gonna get, so you only saw the development of planning and didn't know which ones would come out. But yeah, he uses this to get the trade routes, and yeah, that has a little bit of extra science. Went for the irrigation first here. Quite a lot of food, can increase pop, and builds Aurora to go up to 5 strength. And then next turn he can maybe go for the cartography, depending on how many colonies he's put in here. We still have 2 developments. One is gonna get revealed now, development of religion. That's pretty good for Genghis ship, but I think everybody is able to take the free religion, especially good for Genghis ship, of course, but everybody will get a free building here. Vanta Black now is gonna switch tactics and then replace Sun Tzu, so the fighting band here gets upgraded. And then with Saladin next turn he's gonna take or get another civil action, I guess, and he's upgrading 1 mine, has the irrigation, so good rock production and food soon to follow. And we get another development, the last one, development of settlement. So free population. Gilgamesh is sitting on quite a lot of food. He really needs to kind of get rid of that. It's gonna increase pop a couple of times. Can then maybe build, or even does pop. How many population did he get this turn? 3 times like this, and then once from the settlement. So yeah, 4 population in 1 turn, and then he's gonna build 2 more warriors. Fulfills the heavy cavalry, is the strongest, gaining 3 extra culture production from Genghis Khan, and we have the first cards from each one on top, so he being the strongest here is pretty nice. E55 still has the 2 extra rocks from Boudica, and then could switch into Gutenberg. He still needs a leader, he doesn't go, but we still have time, I guess. There's Columbus and Eleanor left. Decides to go for the Forbidden City. I mean, he can finish that next turn, so maybe not bad. And then, of course, with this strength push, he's gonna go up to 8 strength. Remember, soon there's gonna be the fighting band for him to copy, which will give him even more strength. So not looking bad for him at all. Genghis ship now is gonna push. We get our first territory, which he's gonna take for just Aurora. Takes the happy face. A little bit costly for him. He needs the rocks. He's gonna go for cartography now. He's gonna go for the Great Wall. Where one problem definitely is his rock production is pretty low. We just saw him spend 2 rocks on another rower he had to replace. So it's going to be interesting if he can afford this, the Great Wall. Maybe if there's like the wealthy territory that could really help him, giving him a little bit of a resource boost. But if not, he has a lot of things he wants to build and not that many rocks. But of course we are also still not even that far into H1. I mean, he's gonna get 1 more turn in H1 at least. So planning ahead a little bit. And the black now is gonna go for swordsman as well. He is gonna go for 2 of those, so he fills his tactic twice. Is gonna go up to 11 strength, has the alchemy. So next turn he can decide if he wants to go for irrigation or maybe alchemy to upgrade some more of that. And then we get the crusade. So Gilgamesh, all of a sudden, he is the weakest. He was the strongest when he finished his turn, but now he's the weakest and loses 4 culture. He's gonna take Britain Circuses. He's gonna build 1 and another 1, 9 strength. So he didn't wanna be the weakest here, but it's pretty costly. He didn't really need the happy faces. So yeah, not an easy decision. I don't know. That is that good. E55 now is just gonna finish the Forbidden City, builds yet another swordsman with the 3 rocks of Boudica, is up to 10 strength. Might lose Boudica, but maybe if not that many cards are grabbed, he still has time to replace her. Kingship now is gonna build another 2 warriors, going up to 12 strength, so he's the strongest now. Grabs Code of Laws for next turn. But yeah. Again, he needs rocks. Let's see, Van der Black will push. Do we get another? No, we don't get another colony. We get rats. And Gangship had 5 food. So he's probably not going to be too happy about that. Then Van der Black is going to go for the alchemy upgrades, as I expected. Because then next turn he can go for irrigation upgrades. He upgrades his last warrior as well, so 12 strength for him, tied with Genghis ship. Once again takes the civil action from Saladin. Gilgamesh now can go for government. We don't really have a lot of civil actions up to this point, right? Yeah, we have some who have 1 extra, but the Code of Laws and the monarchy, they are both monarchies and both Code of Laws were pretty late. So that's why we had such a long time in H1, I guess. Didn't have pyramids, we had not an early Saladin. So yeah, felt pretty long H1 because nobody had any extra civil actions. Then Gilgamesh is also going to take the Magic Castle, combines nicely with this Engineering Genius in hand, so I quite like that. Columbus now is going to get elected just in time before H1 ends. We get 2 more upgrades once again from the extra rocks, so Boudica has given quite a lot of extra rocks. I think he used them 3 times, so 6 extra rocks. That's 2 free warriors. Something that Genghis ship maybe would have dreamt of. He would have needed those rocks. So pretty nice use of Boudica. And now a late switch into Columbus, which can be the dream. Like if he has a good colony now, uses Columbus and then quickly gets an H2 leader. He basically has no downside from Columbus. Had Boudica for a long time, used her to great effect. So pretty good early game for E55. But the others are also not too shabby, so nothing decided as you would expect from these top tier players. They don't lose the game in H1, but they do definitely have different starting positions to go into H2. Genghis ship here, not the greatest production. Had food, but that got lost to the rats, so I see the biggest problems maybe for him. Gilgamesh also doesn't have any great upgrades, and the last pivot into the great circuses, he once again is the weakest, so he just can't keep up with the other guys who have the upgraded tactics, at least some of them. They do have swordsmen, he's just sitting on warriors. So I think Van der Black also looking very strong in E55 as well. Genghis ship now, maybe if there's more colonies, sure, he played the colony game, he only has gotten 1 thus far, so if that pays off, it might start looking better and better for him, and he will take the developed territory here for just warrior. He's gonna go for the Code of Laws and grab Scientific Method. I mean, Scientific Method is very, very expensive. I guess there was nothing that great left on the board for him to take. He doesn't have science really, so he doesn't want to grab H1 technologies like warfare or something. And he doesn't have the option to really take any rocks, so alternatively maybe a fission upgrade instead of Scientific Method, just to get any rocks into your hand. But I guess this is fine as well. Van der Black now is gonna go and grab the second Code of Laws. He's gonna upgrade both of his mines. And then the Knights grab for him. I mean, his hand is pretty full. He has a lot of science though, and the Code of Laws will help him as well. As we get another event, the Raiders come out. King's Ship and Gilgamesh will lose a couple of rocks of food. Gilgamesh now can finish the castle, giving him 11 strength, and he gets the Rifleman. That is pretty good. I mean, very costly as well. He also doesn't have any rock production. Down to 3 now because the Roman roads produce science instead. But yeah, E55 now. He did get a colony. Let's check that one out. Vast territory. That improves his position even more. And same goes for the Scientific Method. One thing he was missing, definitely. I mean, before the last turn it was food and science, and now he got vast territory from Columbus and can go into Scientific Method. So yeah, drastically improving his position here, and was good already. So I like that. Also gonna copy the tactic, so he's even the strongest now. So very strong starting point going into H2 here. King's Ship offers the promise of military protection to E55. But it gets rejected. E55 doesn't take the 1 extra culture action, which is interesting. Yeah, I think I would have probably accepted that. This early on, getting 1 extra culture production amounts to maybe something like 10 culture over the turn of the entire game. Can be quite relevant, and sure, King's Ship would get 4 extra strength, but you're not really threatened by him, so I guess he would have been the strongest then. Maybe E55 wants to stay the strongest for now. King's Ship is going to take the vision upgrade now, has frugality here as well, starts building on the Great Wall. But yeah, that's going to take some time to finish. Van der Black now, Reign of Terror, Gilgamesh, once again the weakest. He wasn't before he finished his turn, but now he is. So God of Laws for Van der Black, and immediately grabs the Ocean Liner Service. Very great card for him. He has very high rock production, doesn't have any food. Could have gone for irrigation here, but this is a much better solution to his population. Just takes the Ocean Liner, and then he's also going to take the team sports. Gilgamesh now loses the population, but first gets out the scientific breakthrough. Going to take coal, rich land, cannon, and it's going to develop a coal. Next turn he can maybe upgrade 1 with the rich land, upgrades also 1 warrior to rifleman. Costs him a couple of rocks, but he has enough to upgrade his mine to coal next turn. E55 now finds a new leader. As we said, you want to find a new leader as soon as possible after you've used Columbus. Here now he's gonna go for Maria Theresa, who is a very, very good leader in general. You need food though, so selective breeding, hopefully he's gonna find one. I mean, there's 3 of them in the deck. We have some irrigations, we have the Ocean Liner, so he should find that at some point. But for now, Maria Theresa is not gonna do all that much. Oh, he just grabs it this turn, that's the selective breeding. So next turn he can go for that. One more thing he's needing is a new government form now, but there are still 4 governments in the deck, so it should be a big problem for him. King's Ship tries again with the pact. 3rd pact, I think, from him, right? Or who had the open borders, but yeah. Got rejected in the last turn, but yeah, this turn he's gonna offer the international trade agreement to Gilgamesh, who's gonna accept that gladly. very rarely that you don't see this one accepted. Basically has no downside, especially in a 4-player game. Then he's gonna go for Robespierre. There's Cornmon. Nice. That is very good for him. Gets the Constitutional Monarchy out, can even grab new cards, Breakthrough, and build one stage of the Great Wall. So next turn he can finish that. And it's gonna give him a little bit of a strength boost. On the black, just finishes the Ocean Liner. Could have been interesting to grab the Architecture here and use that to finish the Ocean Liner in just 2 civil actions. But he decides against it. Maybe he wants to have the option to go for Republic or Cornmon if they come out. Let's see if he spends any more science. He's gonna grab Journalism and Patriotism. Okay, so he has the option to go for Cornmon next turn. If he had gone for Architecture, then he wouldn't have. So maybe that's his reasoning. There is a Republic and a Cornmon. But first we get the Knowledge of the Ancients. 3, 3, 2, 3, and then 1 Exorc Genghis-ship. Pretty even overall. Quite a lot of science being deployed. And then Gilgamesh is gonna upgrade 1 coal. Grabs Wave of Nationalism and Reserves. So there's navigation. Yeah, I like that. Get as many rocks in your hand as possible. So you have the rocks to upgrade your coal and still not do nothing on your turns. Upgrading both of the warriors soon would be great. Call to arms. All of the sudden Vanta Black is the second weakest and Genghis-ship still the weakest. So we are very close military, 11, 12, 13, 14. So very even distribution of the strength here. And then E55 is going to get the Cornmon, can go for that this turn. He is improving his position turn after turn. He's going to upgrade 2 times as well. This insane turn. Going for Cornmon and the selective breeding as well as upgrading both of them in the same turn. Ooh, yeah, he is looking strong, even becoming even more the strongest now with 18 strength. Only weakness now maybe is that he's just heavily into swordsman, 6 swordsman, even with the upgraded fighting band. Not what you want to have in the long run, but he still has time to change that up. His ship now finishes the Great Wall, finally grabs reserves, urban growth. And that's it for now. Are there still riflemen? Those would be great for him. Oh no, he missed both of the riflemen, so he's sitting on 4 warriors with the Great Wall and having no cannons yet either. So that can be a little bit dangerous. Vanta Blake now goes for drama. Goes for Republic, so yeah, if he had gone for Architecture, oh no, he could have. If he'd gone for Architecture, yeah, then he couldn't have gone for Drama because there was the Knowledge of the Ancients. He's also gonna go for Nobel. Then elect him, gets extra strength, and then he's also gonna go for the Railroad. I mean, if that was the plan, Architecture here would have been really, really good. So I still think that probably would have been a wise move in the last turn. Maybe it's just in retrospect because there was the aforementioned Knowledge of the Ancients with it here. So if that hadn't come out, he wouldn't have had the science to go for Republic and Architecture. So maybe, but seeing the Ocean Liner and the Railroad and not going for that Architecture feels a little bit sad. Not saving all of those civil actions. In another pact, but it gets rejected as well between Gilgamesh and E55. No scientific cooperation. As Gilgamesh now is going to go for what? And yeah, that makes it easier to upgrade 2 more of his mines. He's also going to go for Justice System. Maybe upgrade 2 units. Oh, you need to build the mine. Or at least upgrade it. He builds an extra rifleman. Copies of the tactic. Upgrades at least 1. I'm not sure why he just didn't upgrade 2 warriors to riflemen. Maybe he then would have been the weakest if he didn't copy the fighting band, not sure, but yeah, spends all of his actions, has an easier upgrade for the next coal as well, so relatively late what, and he already developed coal, so he doesn't get that benefit, but gets the benefit of upgrading 2 mines at least. So Pestilence now, opened by E55. He's gonna go for cavalryman. Can use the extra rocks from Maria Theresa. Upgrade to science as well, and then frugality, that's really good for him. And he's gonna take an architecture here as well. So a lot of science, rocks fine, food fine. Gangstership here opens the barbarians, is the one with the most culture, and it's also one of the two weakest, so he loses 2 units, or 2 population here. Destroyed religion. He's gonna upgrade to scientific method, so at least he's gonna get up his science production, but he's still sitting on 4 rock production. At least he's gonna get a lot of rocks into his hand here, so maybe he can manage with that. Vanta Black, autonomous territory. Wonder who put that in. Of course, Gangship wanted to win it. He had invested quite a lot into colonies, but yeah, especially in 4-player games, there can always be one who either, I think that is the case here, is willing to send a whole battalion, so send 2 swordsmen probably. Yeah, 2 swordsmen and a couple of cards. Or sometimes you're just unlucky and your opponents have a lot more cards than you. But here, great pickup for E55. He has too many swordsmen anyway. It is expensive, 2 swordsmen. But it's also a great colony, so I think it's worth it. I think he will have problems now with blue cubes, though. Yeah, he has vast and autonomous, so 3 blue cubes are gone. He has none extra, so he doesn't have anything like the justice system. So corruption is going to be an issue, as you see here, only 2 blue cubes left. So that is going to be a struggle for him. Hunter Black now is going to go for cannon. Finishes the railroad. He's going for irrigation. Irrigation when they're selected. I guess, yeah, he's fine. Yeah, but I guess I like that. Ocean liner service allows him to just go for irrigation, to just meet your population's food demand. Don't need to produce any extra. So I like that. Saves him a civil action to grab the selected breeding and a little bit of science. He's still missing military actions. Decided not to go for the strategy. That is one issue for him, but overall, still looking damn fine. Next colony, this one won by kingship. This is just sent a warrior, that's nice. Strategic territory, giving him 3 new cards and a little bit of strength as well. Gilgamesh upgrades his last mine, can also go for selected breeding, so I think, yeah, what was worth it. Upgrade 1 more, yeah. And then he's gonna use reserves. Okay, so yeah, also not a bad position for him. He has happy faces, he has a good yellow bank. Yeah, he had Alexander and he had the Roman roads. With cannons and riflemen, maybe he has a good tactic. He has potential for a very strong military game. I mean, he has no culture production to speak of. So the question is going to be, how does he win? He's probably in a position to go heavily into military and hope that pays off. He also has the Image Castle, so that's probably his plan. Others have positions where they are more free to do what they want, like E55 has a lot of options where to take this game in H3, where we go now. But Gilgamesh is not out. Others have to be careful that they don't get surprised by his military. E55 now is going to rebuild one of the swordsmen, is going to build a cavalryman, is going to get this strategy here as well, develops that. Organized religion. Is he going to get out of corruption? Maybe with upgrades here? Yeah, that gets him right out of corruption. And as you see, he only has 2 blue cubes left. That's how close he is to corruption. And that's going to be for every turn. That is a pain. He has okay rock production, but he didn't upgrade it for, well, since H1. So if he would have corruption, that could be a problem for him. So he wants to play around that, manages to do that quite nicely here. But it's not always going to be the case. Next up, Gangship is going to go for Prosperity, or opens Prosperity. Quite nice food for Vanta Black. He's going to go for Cannons. Maybe if he finds a good transition. I mean, for him it's kind of the same as Gilgamesh, but he just doesn't have the rock production. So maybe, I mean, he has 2 wonders that give him military strength and or cards, so he maybe has drawn a war already, and maybe he has fortifications, then he could be a danger, But the problem is going to be the rocks, where he just can't keep up with the other guys and really be threatening. You also can't invest in something like movies or something. So I think for him it's going to be the hardest H3, where you have to find any out. But I think this is correct, loading up on cards. You have to find a way to use these resources. I mean, urban growth, vision upgrade, frugality don't really transition into military that well. Maybe he finds a way to not go for military still, but we'll see. Albert Einstein for Werther Black. So we have the Nobel Prize available now. He's going to go for canon and journalism, so he gets the first Nobel Prize. It's a really nice combo with Einstein, so he just got 10 culture for researching 2 technologies. He's going to build a cannon. Build another cannon, maybe a defensive army. That would make him pretty strong. Doesn't show it yet, at least. Oh, he does. So 31 strength, first H2 tactic, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, first one. Not the easiest to copy. I think for some they are. Gilgamesh could take that. E55 not really. Kingship could as well. So a valuable tactic that he shows here, but he's fulfilling it quite nicely. And goes up to 31 strength. We have a very strong second row, or in general yellow cards here. How many civil actions does Gilgamesh have? Not that many. But first he gets his scientific cooperation rejected. Once again, nobody wants to cooperate with them. And we have revolutionary ideas, reserves, all the good stuff. We also have Pierre. Yeah, Gilgamesh probably wants to go for Pierre. There's also oil. It's pretty early. You have what? So you can think about going for oil here. It will be very interesting to see if it does that. Either go for oil or go for Pierre. Like Pierre and another Brand Circles gives you quite a lot of extra culture collection all of a sudden. 6 extra, you would be on 10 without really investing anything. So that's the great part about Pierre. All of a sudden you get 6 culture collection. Don't really have to invest anything. I mean, one more unit into Brand Circles costs 3 rocks and 1 population. And all of a sudden you're already on 10 culture faction, and after that you can concentrate, either go to military or something like movies and really go crazy with the culture. And that's what we're going to see here. I like that. You guys know me, that's what I was hoping for. We get, maybe not, we should see another. Oh no, we don't. Okay, he wants to go for cannons. He's pretty weak, I guess I can see it. So he's going to go for 2 cannons. Doesn't show tactic, but with the yeah, he's reasonable, this guy. This guy is reasonable. I would have probably gone into full circuses, but even with the Himeji Castle, he couldn't just stay at 15 strength. There could have been an aggression from Panther Black. So yeah, going for 2 cannons gives you great transitioning. Next turn, you could go for defensive army and 1 more rifleman, become really, really strong. And you don't need the Brain Circus this turn. He doesn't need the Happy Faces, so just 2 culture. So yeah. I'm excited enough with 2 Brain Circus, but I want to see the 3rd one. Don't get me wrong, I want to see that 3rd one, maybe even a 4th, sadly no 5th. But yeah, first E55 goes for international tourism, one of the best pacts. He offers it to Genghis ship, who's going to accept. Very, very strong for E55. I mean, he's going to get 2 extra culture, same goes for Genghis ship, but just 2 extra culture for nothing. Of course, just 1 military action is really, really good. He's gonna go for another cavalryman, perhaps reserves, revolutionary idea, maybe another revolutionary idea. No, goes for architecture. So no Nobel Prize for him. Could have maybe hold on to that architecture, didn't need it this turn, and grab another revolutionary idea. But he decides wants that out this turn, which is also fine. Genghis ship now will go for oil. Yeah, it's still early, it's still worth it. He has, as we said, the efficient upgrade. That's somewhere where he can use that this turn. Upgrade 1. All of a sudden, you're sitting on 8 rock production. Have freed up some population here, maybe. It's gonna go for another warrior. Gets a revolutionary idea. 21 strength. Should be able to defend anything from Panther Black. So that's maybe why he went for the extra warrior. Not the best to go for warriors in H3. He could copy the defensive army, go for another cannon. that is fine, especially because he has the Great Wall. But yeah, not where you really want to put your population, but it's also just the one, so maybe it's gonna be fine. The first air forces come out. We will see. Oh, first we see the Iconoclasm, Maria Theresa, and Robespierre gone. So that's good for Vantablack and Gilgamesh, and no new leaders on the deck either. So for the other two guys, could be a problem, especially for E55. This is pretty bad. He needs a new leader ASAP. And then we're gonna see air forces, maybe even military theory. Definitely military theory. He's in dire need of military actions. Grabs revolutionary idea. We're gonna see no corruption, goes for another drama. So did go for that journalism research, but hasn't built one yet. That would give him extra science from Einstein, so he's not producing all that much. Does have the revolutionary idea though, so that's gonna help him a little bit. And then maybe next turn, maybe he's gonna go for military theory plus another technology, maybe team sport, something like that, to get the Nobel Prize again. Still sitting on a lot of rocks. Gilgamesh now gets out the Cold War. That's gonna help Vantablack quite a lot. So next turn he will be able to go. That's pretty scary. He can go for military theory and air forces next turn. So there is even potential for war here. Oh no, not next turn. He doesn't have the military actions yet. So hold your horses. I mean, he could still go for an H2 war, potentially. If he had kept that, that's another issue. With only 2 military actions, you don't get to keep a lot of cards. So pretty unlikely that this is a war that he kept. Gilgamesh now. Are we gonna see pro sports even? He's gonna, okay, grab a wonder pretty early. Empire State Building. What are the other wonders? Spaceflight, M&M Project, Hollywood, fast food chains. I said we can't see what he would be winning at the moment with the Empire State. I guess culture, maybe rocks. Yeah, one of his issues is definitely civil actions. Democracy was sitting here, could have gone for the next turn. So grabbing the Empire State is pretty expensive. You could have grabbed revolutionary ideas from that. Movies, multimedia, something like that. I maybe would have liked that more. I mean, where is he gonna put his rocks in like next turns? I guess the Wonder. Is that gonna be enough? Maybe. I mean, he has the highest culture production at the moment. So maybe that is gonna be enough. Just go for, be safe with military. If you get more military actions, he could go for war himself. And then maybe with one of wonders, it's gonna be enough. He still has the Olympic Games as well. And we see our first war, okay, from E55. I guess he gets fundamentalism. He doesn't get Air Force, but he probably has the evil army. Oh no, he's gonna go for rockets. Builds 1, builds 2, or take Napoleonic? No, defensive. Copies to defensive. 42. So very, very inefficient military. I mean, 3 cavalrymen aren't part of any tactic. So not the most efficient one, but still enough with 2 rockets and a lot of units in military. Goes up to 42. Probably more than Gangship can defend against. Then he's gonna go grab reserves. Skips the revolutionary idea. Not that often that you see that one on one civil action. International negotiations, so Gangship can decide what he has to give E55. Probably something like science. Yeah, decides to go for science. Marie Curie, great leader for him with the oil. Gives him a little bit of strength as well. Goes for cannon, can copy the tactic. Who has a tactic himself. The positional army. Yeah, gives him the same amount of strength as the defensive army would have given him. 29 strength is not quite enough. Goes for 1 religion. Revolutionary idea. An upgrade. So he is gonna lose this war. And with that, probably a lot of his hope for this game. He wasn't in a great position, and now if he goes down in culture quite a lot, it's not going to get better. This was probably what he was hoping for when he pushed in the last turn. If he would have gotten the 5, or maybe it was more last turn, extra rocks, maybe he could have done something more, defended a little bit better. But yeah, now 25 rocks for Vanta Black. Gilgamesh also sitting on 24, 55 on 10. So the first two players here, as I said, I liked E55's position quite a lot in H2. The others have just gotten over him with rock production quite a bit, so now they have a lot of options to go for. We still have a couple of turns in H3. Vanta Black is going to go for military theory, and now maybe spam a couple of scientific methods, journalisms. He's going to get the Nobel Prize, goes for Air Forces and Modern Infantry, and then with that Modern Infantry he can go for the Positional Army. So he is looking both scary on the culture front and the military front. So maybe he has overtaken E55 for my favorite position. Maybe even Gilgamesh. I mean, ooh, very interesting. He lost his sovereignty. Not that often that we see this one. So if you guys don't know, Gilgamesh will now produce 2 extra culture, Gengiship 2 less, but nobody can declare war on Gengiship. So we're gonna just see the 1 war on Gengiship and no more. That's a very, very interesting turn of events. Gilgamesh is gonna go for democracy. Are we gonna see another Burn Circus? I certainly hope so. Gonna see Modern Infantry. Come on, build one. He probably takes reserves or something. That's good as well. 2 cannons. Okay, he's also ready. Yeah, takes the reserves, doesn't go for the 4th Burn Circus. He's reasonable once again. But I mean, if you're playing the semifinal, maybe that's why I don't play in the semifinals. I would have gone for another Burn Circus just to have it. But yeah, he's also totally ready. I think he's sitting on 28 strength, and we think, okay, he's the weakest, but he needs 1 more rifleman, and he's gonna go from fighting band to 2 positional armies he's gonna fulfill. So that's gonna be quite the jump. So he's looking very dangerous. Or like this, alright. He will just go for his own tactic, has the entrenchment, so 44. All of a sudden he's the strongest. It works the same, I guess. I guess he took away the Modern Infantry from E55 or something. Who's now gonna take 18 culture from Gengiship. And is gonna go straight for another war. E55, the one being the one who's declaring all the wars, pretty interesting, is gonna go for air forces. Can go for 2 air forces with the patriotism. His tactics aren't that great. He needs something more, doesn't he? Isn't this such a good war? 64, I guess that is quite a lot more. He doesn't have the best tactics. He just has so many units, so many rocks in his military. 4 H3, 2 H3, 3 H2 and 4 H1 units. It's just a lot more than Vanta Black here, who has only 2 cannons, 2 swordsmen. He has 25 rocks though. Can't go for fundamentalism. I guess he could go for revolution, but he can go for 2 air forces, I guess. I mean, he probably did the math. 2 air forces are what, 22 strength, so 58. It seems pretty close to me, if I'm being honest. Like, he has more rocks than just 2 air forces, so I'm not sure. I didn't do the math now on the spot, so maybe I'm reading this wrong. Let me know if you guys immediately thought, oh no, he's correct, that's indeed a war. E55 opens, no, Gengiship opens the international agreement, and E55 can take that on his next turn. Gengiship now at least no wars on him, so I guess some hope might be back. He's not gonna be farmed by the other players for culture with a lot of wars. He can concentrate on maybe producing a lot of culture and hoping that maybe the other guys fight between each other so much that 1 or 2 of them go down in culture quite a lot. Independence Declaration, Gengiship will have to lose a colony, and then Vanta Black. He has problems with happy faces. Goes for an arena. Destroys a mine. Where? 60. Oh, he's missing 60. Wait a minute. So close. He's missing 1 rock here. If he had 1 more rock, he could build another air force and overtake E55. So that's some really tight-knit math, but I guess good job by E55 seeing this. I wonder if there are not any events that could have given him the one extra rock. Oh, wait a minute, if he... Couldn't he have won? If he didn't build the team sports, he would have had to destroy a couple of buildings, but he would have had the science go for satellites. Satellites is 3 strength, so 1 more than the team sports. And then he wouldn't have had to build the team sports, but could have built another air force instead. And winning this war, I'm pretty certain. Let me know if I did the math wrong here, but I think he could have gone up to 65, even 66 with the satellites and 1 more air force. I think that would have been worth it. I think so. Okay, investing. I mean, Gilgamesh now. What's he gonna do? Hopefully he's gonna build a 4th arena. He's gonna build 2 more cannons, going up to 59. He declared the Olympic Games, okay, so no more wars. Growth, mission upgrade, computers. Mechanized agriculture, okay, so he's getting ready to maybe finish the Empire State next turn. I mean, he's taken quite a lot of cards, so maybe next turn is going to be the last. We see 9 cultures switch hands here. Does E35 have another war? No, he takes a lot of cards from his international agreement. So pretty certain, yeah, next turn is going to be our last. Some movies. Civil service. Develops the civil service. Gives him Nobel Prize. Yeah, age is going to end here. He's pretty low on culture thus far. How many events, how many impacts do we have? 3 impacts only. So you're not going to see that many impacts. If we take a look at the culture, 91, 92, E55 is going to produce. So let's go to his production phase. Oh, he already produced. Okay, then it's not as close, but still, 91, 92, 81. We don't have that many impacts. Could get very, very close. Kingship here probably not a contender. Ravages of Time, Hanging Gardens have to be lost. Maybe that's bad for Vanta Black. We will see. Kingship can stabilize with an arena. But he doesn't have the time. Maybe a couple of more turns for his oil to kick in. But yeah. Like this, he's probably gonna come in last. He had some problems early on, not that many rocks. Still, not any obvious mistakes or anything. We won't be seeing that here at this kind of level. Just a very tough early game. Sometimes nothing you can do about the toughness of the early game, especially H1, and then wasn't really able to stabilize that well with just the bronze. Like Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was looking a little bit similar, but he managed to go into coal even with Watt. That really improved his position here. Was able to contest with the other guys in H3. Kingship kind of had to still catch up with the oil in H3 and then wasn't flexible enough to do anything else. Well, the black now is going to push. We get the inhabited territory. E55 is going to take that for a cavalryman. Doesn't have enough for Hollywood, so no wonder for him. So he cannot have... has to destroy a couple of things. I really wonder if... I'm pretty certain he could have won the war, and I think it would have been worth it. And he's still not... Maybe he thought he would have 1 more turn and didn't want to destroy too much. But as it turned out, the game is over after these turns. Gilgamesh has a wonder, so he's not looking bad. I think his overall impacts are going to be a little bit worse. As we see the first run, wonders 11, 9, 9, and 9. That's not too much changes. There's the 4th run circus. Nice. We have computers, so I guess he wants to win more from the Empire State. 18. That's okay. It's just okay. 18, but he's gonna go up to 122 plus production. So 139. How much does Vanta Black have? 120. So he has the lead over Vanta Black. 55 also doesn't get a 1 die. He's sitting on just 90. Goes for an aggression on Kingship. Yeah, you can't be attacked, but you can still be aggressed against. So tough for Genghiship, and 8 extra rocks for e55, who's gonna go for Mandela. And 2 movies, I guess. Movies and a religion. He's the strongest. That's pretty good for his impacts as well with the happy faces. So he's at 112 versus 139, so that's gonna be tough. Not looking bad for Gilgamesh. Last turn, pack gets cancelled, so 2 more culture production for Genghiship. And finish his fast food chains for 18. So he's gonna end up with 98. So if we take a look here, yeah, he's a little bit behind e55, but I think e55 has pretty good impact, so I don't think it's going to be close between these two guys. Between the rest, it's pretty open. But Gilgamesh is looking like he has the lead here. I mean, definitely has the lead at the moment, but I would like how the impacts feel. He probably should be able to take it, right? But let's see the impacts. Progress 10, 18, okay, that's a big one. 20, so Gilgamesh has lost 8 or 10 of his lead, so he did have pretty bad progress. Balance 12, 8, 12, so yeah, he had pretty good. So it's getting really close between these two, 46, 44, but still 61 for Gilgamesh. I mean, also here, as I said, these are all great players. You're not gonna see, I mean, it can also happen if someone gets ward a lot that he's far behind, but he's just 20 culture behind e55 here because it's not a stomp or anything. Culture 10, 5, 15, so e55 is gonna get closer. I just wonder, he has 22 versus 15, yeah, so there was a big difference between these two. Government 19, or e55 is 27 from government. Just 4 culture between these two guys now. I think Vanderblack has, I mean, even that, I mean, if he gets a 15 point and e55 a 0, I don't know if there's anything like that here, but the last one is gonna be architecture. 10, 15, 15, and so one more culture from e55 than for Gilgamesh, and that was our last impact. So he takes it with 1 point. 201 versus 200. As I said, it can't really get any closer. This is some of the best through the ages we can ever see in the World Championship. So many steps these players had to go through and prove that they are one of the best. And we see that here in the results as well. Well played e55, also well played all the other players, especially Gilgamesh. Not only because he went for Pierre and 4 Berlin Circuses, but because he also almost won this. Just 1 point missing. I mean, you wonder, where could you get this 1 extra point? Probably it was possible to take it somewhere. But yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. So Vanderblack 3rd position, and the Genghiship sadly on the last for him. But very exciting game. Hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. I definitely did bring it to you guys. Hope that I will be able to do some more of the semifinals, but yeah, no promises, a lot going on at the moment. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment if you did, tell me if I should do more 4 players, more 3 players, 2 players. We have the full mix. I usually have the impression that most people want to see 4 players. It's also the longest video to make, etc. But that's what I usually focus on. But maybe also going to take a look at the 3-player matches. There are still 3 groups. One of them is covered by Weidenbaum, so definitely watch those on Weidenbaum's channel. But there's 2 groups where I think no videos are being covered, so I have quite a few games to choose from. So let me know which ones you would like to see. Maybe even tell me a game with a game code that I should cover. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.